Welcome back, everybody. Aga Swiecki here from SKG. Happy Women's Day on Monday. Happy Women's History Month. We're celebrating everything women's this month. Today, we wanted to do something different and talk about the unifying force behind all women. I know that sounds mysterious. I'll explain. The work to be done for women and men, still for all of us together, as well as role models for all of us and telling your story, however small or big you think your story is. So first and foremost, the unifying force. There is a magic that happens when women come together. I know this, you know this. It happens every time, whether it's a small group, whether it's a community, whether it's a country. It is a powerful force. That is not to say that men are not included. That's the whole idea of the unifying force. I think we need to come together, both men and women, on this journey. So men are also invited. But a unifying force, what does it mean? Part of this growth, part of this building a better world, building better companies, building better communities, is coming together, is understanding the differences in others, being curious about differences in others, extending yourself to others, bridging differences, and also becoming active agents of change. As you know, the hashtag this year for International Women's Day is Choose to Challenge. So challenging inequality, challenging what's not right, speaking up for yourself and others. And I want you to think about your bubble. Everybody has a bubble that they operate in. And I invite you to step out of that bubble occasionally to see what are other people doing? What's their perspective? What's their life experience? What have they gone through? What shaped them to be who they are today? Because that is powerful. We don't often do that consciously unless if something happens and we suddenly get woken up to, not everybody lives like me, not everybody thinks like me, men or women. So bridging differences, becoming active agents of change, expanding your bubble. Realizing also how much difference can one human being make when they become that active agent, when they no longer just know that something should change, they know that something is not right, but now they also feel the desire to do something, to contribute, to add value, to shift someone else's perspective. And that is a powerful force. So that's the unifying force, men and women. How? Now let's talk about the how. The how is, when we go through these changes, and I think we're ready because there's so much change around us that has been happening in the last couple of years, and especially in the last year. But personal growth and professional growth is what makes us realize that some of these things, it's helping us realize our blind spots. Things that we didn't see before, things that we didn't realize, things that we judged, things that we didn't notice, things that maybe we were not empathetic enough about, because we're all learning and expanding. So personal growth is a big one of how to do this, right? This is the invisible force underneath it all. We become better, and when we become better here personally, we also become better for others. So everywhere in your life. Raising awareness, and that's the whole idea of this Women's Day this year for 2021. But also, how do you celebrate women around you? Whether it's starting their new company, whether it's doing charity work, whether it's a small project, whether it's a piece of art, whether it's something they simply are excited about and it's not even big. It doesn't matter. How do you celebrate women around you? And how do you feel yourself when you see this huge success? That's important. I invite you to do that more and every day. Involve in celebrating beyond gender. That's also important. That's part of this hashtag this year, part of this hashtag, part of this campaign, and part of the future, really. One of the things too, think about mentoring and coaching. So if you have value to add, or if you yourself need value, how can you reach out and maybe reach out to someone in your community for a virtual coffee if you're the one that needs some advice, some coaching, some mentoring. Or maybe you have a skill that you'd like to share, whether it with young women, whether it's an organization of your choice that you support. But what can you do to add some value to the community, to add some value to women around you? And then finally, I want to leave you with some questions and talk about role models around us, as well as telling your story. So everyone has a story, you know this, and everyone says that. But sometimes we feel that our story is not big enough or not important enough, or maybe we're embarrassed of our story. Maybe we're ashamed of the mistakes we've made. It could be different things for different people. And I'm here to tell you that every story is an important story because everyone has some eyes on them. So whether you're in the limelight or you're not, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a public speaker, whether you're an interior designer like in our industry, someone's eyes are on you. Someone is modeling the way you present, the way you are with people, maybe your kindness, maybe your presentation skills, maybe it's your ability to build relationships, maybe it's your leadership, but someone's eyes are on you. It could be one pair of eyes, it could be hundreds of pairs of eyes. But think about this as you go about your day, as you're celebrating Women's Month. Who are you a role model for? And maybe even step up in some areas because you know that people are going to be modeling some of these qualities and you're going to be inspiring and elevating others to do more, to be more active agents, to speak up, to protect, to elevate and inspire themselves. So I want to leave you with some questions. This is about telling your story. I want you to really think about, what is my story? What shaped me? What shaped me up to this point? So this person that you see in the mirror was shaped by certain experiences, difficulties, challenges, and here they are. And how can you tell your story so that it inspires others to live bigger, to contribute more, to add more value, and to see some of these things, to connect, to bridge differences? So, number one, what unique challenges have you faced in your career as a woman? And how did you overcome them? Really think about this. It doesn't matter what level you're on. You can think about what happened when you were 15, when you were 18. It could be now that you're in your 40s or 50s or 60s. But what happened in your life what challenges shaped you? Number two, which mentors and role models have positively impacted you in your career? And then what are your favorite lessons that stayed with you that you use even today? What favorite mentors? And think about this too. This does not have to be a coach you hired. It could be a book that changed your life. It could be a conversation at a conference that you had sitting with somebody casually on a break that's literally shifted the way you thought about everything in your life. It could be an online course. And then think about, how can you share that? Do you have the idea of when you're reading something, oh my gosh, there is somebody that would love this and I would love to share it? And then lastly, what advice would you give to your younger self today? Looking back at the challenges, things that shaped you, things you've gone through, things you read, maybe people you hired, mentors, coaches, people that changed your life in some shape or form. What advice would you give to your younger self? All of these are a valuable material for another woman, somewhere on her path, professional or personal. And if it reaches them at the right time, it can literally shape the way they lead their life. Thanks for listening. Happy Women's Day, and I'll see you next time.